What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Give and Go, the NBA show. I'm your host, Dante Williams, and co-hosting the show with me today is my brother, Jimmy. Y'all already know he don't need no introduction. But and other things, we finna get into some of these first few playoff games that have taken place already. Let's jump in. I want to jump in. I want to jump in. And other things, we finna get into some of these first few.
No, I was like, we save everybody from this massacre that's on TV right now.
Yeah, because the first game I wanted to get into was the Heat and Bucks. You know, the Heat beat. You know there's a typo in there. The Bucks beat the Heat 109 to 107 the first game.
Yeah, and let's just talk about that game. Let's just keep it there.
You want to talk about game one first? You don't want to talk about the game right now?
No, we talk about that next episode because that's gonna need a whole other hour.
So the thing that was interesting about that first game with the Heat and Bucks, Jimmy Butler shot 4 of 22. And I know Giannis was guarding him on like a lot of possessions. I don't know if that kind of caused him to just, Giannis being a defensive player of the year and being long. I think Jimmy Butler had a hard time. Bam played bad. Really, Duncan Robinson was the only one who did something. But what was your thoughts on that massacre?
Definitely Duncan Robinson was the standout of that game. He kind of started how McDermott started when I think the Pacers played the Hornets. He got off to a hot start and they couldn't they had no answer for him. So he started off hitting a lot of threes. But it was as bad as Jimmy Butler played, as bad as the Bucks played. It was a pretty close game. I'm not gonna say that he blew them out. Like I said, they only won by Milwaukee won by 2. So the Heat almost stole that game. I mean, they were the better team that day, but like you said, Jimmy Butler didn't really play that well. Chris Middleton came in the clutch, finally. We've been waiting like the past 3 seasons for people been asking, like, what is Chris Middleton going to do? Like, he needs to be that second star. And he hasn't been that second star. He's been an all-star, but he hasn't been what we expect him to do that first game. So he stepped up in a big way, knocked down that shot as he's supposed to, because Giannis not hitting that.
And you know who else had an underrated performance that game? Bobby Portis came off the bench, hit us some shots. I think they have a better bench presence than last year. You know, they got PJ Tucker, they got Bobby Portis, Forbes, all of them. So Connaughton. So they gotta look like a little decent, backup. Like, you can bring them into the game, they'll play their role, hit threes.
But let's not take away from Drew Holiday with that block.
Yeah. He's an upgrade from Bledsoe. I'm just put that out there. He's a big upgrade.
Way about if not better defensively, he's probably a better scorer. But Drew Holiday with that block, he definitely do. Drew Holiday does the little things that you don't really see on the stat sheet unless he getting like a lot of steals. But that defensive play that's the type of player he is. And I mean, I thought it was going to be a close series to have to say, but I mean, this is playoff basketball. Like, the Heat could get blown out today, which we'll talk about that next episode. But I mean,
you gotta say that one.
But this is the playoff, so I mean, they could lose this game, come back and blow Milwaukee out. I mean, it's all about momentum. It's all about game runs. So we'll see. But the difference making that first game was definitely Chris Middleton, Duncan Robinson for the Heat. Dragic, he came in and had a good game. I think that's what kept him in the game.
He was underrated.
Yeah, that's what kept him in the game. They bench. As far as the other players, Biyombo, he didn't have a good game either. Not to the standards that I felt like he should have. I don't know what you think about it.
Really, this thing with Jimmy Butler, because I think before the bubble last year, people were saying, can he be the lead star on the team? Because Butler's a good player. Don't get it wrong. He's an excellent defender. He can score, but I think when you look at today's NBA, your ideal scorer got to be kind of like a KD, LeBron. He got to be able to shoot consistently from the outside. I don't think Butler has really been that threat from the outside, but he can do a lot of other things. So
yeah, I mean he could. Jimmy Butler more type of game. He'll get to the paint, get you in foul trouble. He gets free throw
right,
line. When it comes down to that big shot, he will take that shot and he will hit it. He's known to do that. But it's just that game he was kind of off. But I expected more from Bam too. We can't forget about Bam because Bam at least got an average like 25 and 10 a game if they're gonna even stand a chance to beat Milwaukee.
yeah, and let's get into this next game. Enough about the Heat and Bucks. We're gonna say the game that's going on right now for the next episode because there's a lot to say about what's going on there. But let's talk about the Mavericks and Clippers now. I think everybody's thoughts is the Clippers are gonna redeem themselves after last year. They choked the lead against the Nuggets, and then
you ain't have to say stuff like that.
Hey, I'm just saying what other people were saying.
Oh man, hey, okay.
But they was up 3-1, just to say. But they this is a series right now that they took the Mavericks out the playoffs the first round last year. Now this is another matchup again. Mm-hmm. They really had no answer for Luka. He had a triple-double. So in your thoughts, where did the Clippers go wrong in that game? So what was your main focus at?
I don't see how you have two of the best, if not the best, wing defenders on the same team. And Luka, how many points Luka scored?
Yeah,
Luka
31.
scored.
Yeah, 31.
Yeah, 31. See, what the issue was.
There was no need. There's no way he should have scored that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But see,
two of the best defenders.
Now, you really watching the game, you see the Clippers switch a lot, right? Because they got a lot of wing players on the perimeter. So they're going to switch. Anytime they got pick and roll with Luka, they switched it. The problem was every time they switched it, when Zubac was in the game, they would leave Zubac on the island by himself, as they say. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, well, Luka, you'll see Luka waving everybody out the way like this.
And they kept letting them switch too. If I was the coach, I'd be like, don't switch. Don't try your best not to switch. Because I think.
So, go ahead.
No, because I think a lot of teams, they can take some notes out of what Golden State do. Like I said, they one of the first teams that play small ball. But I know a lot of times on Golden State.
You took the words out of my mouth, man. You took the words out of my mouth.
If you're a real basketball, like if you're a real expert and you look at the game, you will notice a lot of times when teams try to switch on Curry will hurry back up to that to his primary defender. And then somebody like Drake, like, how like when they play in the Lakers, LeBron likes to switch a lot. If they try to switch on Curry will hurry back, switch on his man, and then the primary defender will go back guard LeBron.
But what's the one issue with Dallas doing that? What's the one issue if Luka and Porzingis is Porzingis setting the pick and roll? What's going to be the issue?
Porzingis going to be open. He can shoot.
He could shoot and he could post. Dude is like what, 7'3"?
Yeah, so that's another reason why it's hard to guard them. It's hard.
And that's why I see like they had Zubac in, but at the same time, you may have to gamble and go small. Put Ibaka. I don't know what type of game he had, but he didn't really impact the game that much. They got to play better. Like you got to have Ibaka in the game to switch out on Luka, or you got to sprint back to your man and not switch. So I foresee the Clippers coming out with a different defensive type of scheme. I would say try to double Luka, make everybody else shoot. Or if you don't switch, you got to make sure it's between Paul George or Kawhi Leonard, and you let that rest in your hands. But then Paul George didn't play that good offensively. I know you probably won't get into that.
He played better in the second half, but in that first half, he got to play better than that. He got to play way better than that. In the first, when the game starts, he got to play. Because Paul George, he should be in the mindset that people call me Pandemic P. Like you should just be on go mode right now. Like you should have some anchor in you. But yeah, I know Ibaka really didn't play as much. I know he was dealing with an injury, but
okay.
I know, yeah, that's like a lot of reasons why he ain't played. But I think once he play more, and really, Paul George, Klein, them all ain't played as much together. I know I was like hearing about that. Them Ibaka, they all ain't played together. Rondo.
It don't matter. It don't matter, man. They played enough. They played more games than LeBron and AD played this season.
Right.
And that's what it comes down to. They need to. I mean, they got Rondo. Rondo impact. He came in. He hit a nice 2 threes, but I don't know if they want to start Rondo and then bring Patrick off the bench, or I mean Reggie Jackson. He wasn't really doing much either. They got to find somebody that's at least gonna come off the bench. Maybe get DeMarcus Cousins some minutes. Make him play. Make him guard you in the paint. Do something.
Well, I think what Ty Lue looking at is I'm gonna have Rondo and Reggie Jackson playing in the backcourt together, and then I'm gonna have like basically Ibaka and come off the bench. But Ibaka usually the primary starter though. That's one.
Hey, so what happened with Luke Kennard? Why didn't he play?
I think he hurt. I think he been dealing with injury before the season ended. I think that's why he ain't played. I just thought about that too. I realized he ain't played. Luke Kennard.
Well, the way it's looking, the Clippers may get upset if they keep this up. If they let Luka do what he want.
The scary thing is they only lost by 4, and they didn't play at their best. So that's what I think what Dallas should be scared of.
They lost by 10. They lost by 10.
They lost by 10.
113 to 103.
It was 113 to 103.
Yeah.
Okay, my fault. It was error on my part. But for the main purposes, 10 really not a lot if you think about it. It's a lot, but it's not.
I mean, you got to look at the end of the game. They may have ran up the score a little bit. So I mean, it depends.
But yeah, looking into the next game, it's kind of like a series people now really talking about, the Trailblazers, and basically they beat the Nuggets from 123 to 109. But
which was expected.
One takeaway I got from this is Jokic only had 1 assist, and he won the lead in assist people in the league. So what you think?
I don't think it matters. He may win MVP, and I mean the Nuggets are going to come out and play better than they did the first game. I mean Portland got up on them. Dame, he knocked down a lot of shots. Melo back in Denver. They was booing him, and he was like, okay, watch this. And he came in off the bench. I think Denver maybe want to give him more bench production, but they starters got to play better. I mean, I think Porter, I think he had a good game. I mean, he got to make up for Murray not scoring. He had 21. But everybody else didn't play good at all. I mean, Aaron Gordon, he had an okay game. Austin Rivers didn't do much. JaMychal Green, he didn't do much. Paul Millsap didn't even. So I mean,
I don't think he even played. Did he even play?
He played a little bit.
I think ever since Aaron Gordon came over, I don't think he really been getting this much playing time. But I mean,
right now, Blazers got more talent on their team. Blazers got a better bench. They just got to finish. They just got to finish. They got to do the same thing they did to the Nuggets the first game and do it in the second game, and just try to take Jokic out of the game as much as you can. And I think they'll win this series easily.
Right. So I think another interesting game was the Sixers and Wizards. Tobias Harris had 30 at half, so that was kind of surprising. But remember what I said last show? The only way the Sixers really gonna do something is Tobias Harris got to be that secondary scorer, because we know Ben Simmons kind of not like a scoring type. He more like pass first. So I said Tobias Harris gonna have to do something in order for the Sixers to actually go far in the playoffs. So
right,
that was my first takeaway. But did Russ look gassed out to you? Because I mean, I know leading the league in triple doubles. I know that kind of takes some heart out of you at least. Like, what you think?
All I know is the Sixers was flirting with a dangerous game. Now, luckily, Tobias Harris was playing good enough for them to hold them off. But for the Wizards to even be in the game, I think people expect the Sixers to kind of blow them out. Not really blow them out, but like have a more comfortable lead the whole game. But the Wizards was keeping up. I mean, Gafford from the Bulls, he get him a lot of energy off the bench. Bill was playing good. So I mean, as far as that goes, I don't know if Ben Simmons played that well. I think he had a couple of good defensive styles, but he didn't really do much on offense. It was just all Tobias Harris because I think Joel Embiid was in some foul trouble. But it was all Tobias Harris. So I mean, the Wizards now gonna have to game plan how to stop all three of them.
Yeah, Seth Curry kind of killed him in the second half too. He was quiet the first, but then he just started lighting them up. Danny Green was lighting them up. I think Danny Green out for revenge because I think people after what happened in the bubble, even though the Lakers won the championship, he missed like that game winner that one game. So
I feel like for the Wizards to win, like to at least like compete, they need to keep doing what they're doing. Try to get a lot more fast break points.
Yeah.
Because when Joel Embiid in the game, it's gonna be hard to contain him in they half court offense. But Wizards got to continue to get easy points and somehow figure out how to slow Joel and Tobias Harris down, which is gonna be hard to do because the Wizards really don't have anybody to defend neither one of them.
Yeah, and I think Bertans, that's like their best shooter. I think they got to get him some more touches too. If they're gonna have a shot of beating them. But let's talk about the real game. Let's talk about the Suns and the Lakers, man. Because
I thought you was gonna say Brooklyn and
no, we gonna get into that. I'm saving best for last. That's best for last. But so man, the Suns won 99-90. Now, I think the most crazy thing, this Devin Booker first playoff game, and he dropped 34. Looked like he was obviously the best player on the court. And then DeAndre Ayton basically outworked Anthony Davis. He shot 90% from the field. So what was your biggest takeaway? Because I know we all know Anthony Davis played horrible. It's a lot of things.
But do you remember what I said last episode?
What's up?
In this series, it's gonna be wherever Anthony Davis want to take them. I said Anthony Davis is gonna be the most important. You go look back later on, but I said Anthony Davis is gonna be the most important player in this series, and you see why. When he could have easily put up 30 and he didn't, they could have used 30 points. They would have won.
Right.
I think the biggest takeaway is Chris Paul injury because he gets them started off to a good pace. You can see that injury kind of slowed him down. He couldn't really handle the ball that well after. They say he's gonna play next game, so it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be interesting to see how that injury affecting his ball handling because that's the big part of his game, and his shot was off. With him how he was shooting the ball. So you got to watch that. Then of course everybody's gonna be watching and see what Anthony Davis does in Game 2. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna say the Suns are gonna win the whole series. Lakers lost the first game last year in the first round. What happened? They ended up winning the championship. So I mean, no Laker fans is worried about the Suns right now about the losing series because they know the Lakers are gonna come out next game. What I'm interested to see is how the Suns are gonna take that first punch because the Lakers are gonna come out firing. And if Suns can withstand that first punch and win Game 2, then Lakers fans should be worried because that's a lot of momentum going into Game 3. If you're the Lakers, you win Game 2, you feel better about yourself, you tied it up. Now, let's go work to Game 3. But if you down 0-2, you start to get concerned a little bit. And I think you got to start looking at the Lakers bench when you say that because they're going to need some more help off the bench. Montrez, he came in with a little energy. He was slashing a lot. Caruso, he didn't really do too much. Horton Tucker didn't do too much. Wesley Matthews. So now, if you're the Lakers, do you look at taking Drummond out, putting him on the bench, starting Marc Gasol to help space the floor? Do you play a little smaller? Kuzma. I think this is his last season as a Laker because he hasn't shown me any reason why the Lakers should keep him after this season. No reason at all.
Yeah, because when I look at Chris Paul, like back to Chris Paul, I think outside of LeBron, LeBron, like people think he probably the best point guard in the league, even though he a small forward, but IQ wise, passing the ball. But outside of LeBron, Chris Paul probably like number 2, maybe number 1 if you really think about it. And the thing about the Suns, they not only they good defensive, they can shoot too. They got a lot of shooters on their team, so I think they might hurt the Lakers, even though they're a good defensive team. But if they were shooting how they did in the first game with Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, them, I don't know. They could put up a fight against the Lakers, but Kuzma got to play better. You know, y'all traded Brandon Ingram.
He is gonna be gone after the season. Mark my words.
Look,
all the Lakers.
Brandon Ingram sound nice right now. Brandon Ingram sound nice right now. I'm not. Gonna
it was no way they would get Anthony Davis without not trading Ingram. I mean, yeah, they wanted Kuzma, but Kuzma got to go, man. He didn't do anything. If you're Kuzma and they kept you on the team, you're at least supposed to be getting at least 15 off the bench. You're not even getting at least 15. You're not even getting 8. I don't know how many points he had.
Last game, yeah. How many points did he have last game? Please tell me.
He had 0. He had 0 points. So
he had 0.
That's what I'm looking at.
Oh my goodness.
He was 0 for 2 from the field.
He only took 2 shots.
I mean, would you give him more than 2 after how he been playing? I mean, Kuzma's gonna be gone. They need to just go ahead and just get ready to fill that spot because he not it at all.
All right, so enough of that game. I think game 2 tomorrow night. So we're gonna be looking forward to how Lakers respond.
Gonna be a good one.
We definitely gonna be watching, but this is another weird series that people think can go to Game 7, the Hawks and the Knicks. Trae Young definitely silenced him. He had like 30. Well, he had 32, I think. Yeah, like 32.
Yeah, 32. Yeah.
This is the thing. This is my issue with the Knicks because not only am I a big Derrick Rose fan, but the way he was getting to the basket, I think they should have ran through him more late in the game. They should have ran through him more.
They didn't want to pass the ball at times. I kind of noticed that. They didn't want to pass the ball. I was kind of getting concerned because Julius Randle played horrible.
He was 5 of 21. He was 5 of 21 from the field.
He was trying to do too much, and he didn't have to. Alex Burks kept him in the game. He did most of their scoring. Derrick Rose came out, had a good game. Nerlens Noel had some good blocks. Barrett, RJ Barrett, he was okay.
He was so shaky that game.
Yeah, quickly and Toppin gave him some energy off the bench. Like Randall, next game, he just needs to calm down. He don't even need to really be one of them games where he shoot a lot of threes. He could post up. Can't nobody really guard him in the post. You know, so I think he should focus more on getting the inside bucket, getting to the free throw line, putting him in foul trouble. I feel like Trae Young is going to be Trae Young.
Right.
You got to make everybody else score. But I think Tibbs is going to come up with somewhere they may double team him a lot more, get the ball out of his hands. I don't know. What you think?
This is what I think. So before the game, on paper, the Hawks obviously got a better offensive team. I want to talk about Bogdanovich because he was really just lighting them up. And I think he hit a clutch shot too. I think them getting him kind of helped a lot. They got Lou Will Gallinari off the bench, so they got some veterans who can not only score, but help. They got playoff experience. I don't think Capella did what he known for. He had a solid game, but he can get like 20 rebounds on every given night. Collins played good. So for Trae Young and Collins and them to be this their first playoffs, they played pretty well. But I think with the Knicks, I think Julius Randle gonna have a better game, obviously. I don't think that's gonna happen again. But I feel like they gotta figure out their rotations now. Quickly, I think he should play more because it looked like he wasn't afraid of the moment.
Who started? I think Peyton started for them, and he didn't do anything. So I don't think Peyton should start next game.
And
why not start with D Rose or Quickly to get off to a better start?
I think they like D Rose and Quickly coming in the game at the same time. I think they like that. Them two coming off the bench, giving you that scoring punch. Because Quickly, he can run the offense and he can play off ball. So I don't know. I think that's what Tibbs like, in my opinion. I think Peyton, he like it for defensive purposes, guarding the point guard. But you see, he don't really play much.
He didn't do good last game.
He don't play much. But I think the Knicks, they got to figure out their rotations now. And I think they got to get Barrett some more touches, too. I think they got to run the offense through him some more.
Just explain this to me, right? You said D Rose and Quickly better off the bench, right?
Yeah.
So Alfred Payton started because of his defense, right?
Right.
Alfred Payton played 8 minutes. 8 minutes. That 8 minutes could have went between D Rose and Quickly. Payton does not need to play. Trae Young dropped 32 points. Obviously, his defense in that 8 minutes didn't change anything. So they should change their rotation.
And another thing I ain't really get how they put Frank Ntilikina in at the end of the game. He didn't play the whole game just to guard him on Trae on that last possession, and then you seen what happened. Like you got to go. I don't know. You can't put somebody in the game the last minute. They ain't played the whole game. That's how I'm looking at it.
And if I'm a Trae Young fan, I'm proud of him. You know how he starts crowd out, but you better be coming with the same energy next game,
right?
Because the Knicks is not gonna fold after one game. Like they tough.
Yeah, they not. They gonna toughen up on defense.
So he better come with that same energy because once he come out and he say he started missing shots, then what you gonna do?
Right.
So.
And let's talk about this last game that was on last night. The Grizzlies and Jazz. We know Donovan Mitchell ain't played. That's my opinion why they ain't win. They just ain't had their superstar.
No, man.
They need. If they would have had Mitchell, they would have won.
They were winning in the first half. The first half. There should be no reason why they lost this game. No reason why they lost this game.
No, this my thing though. This my thing though. Outside of I think now Bogdanovich and Clarkson. And I think Conley had a good game too, but you need as many shot creators as possible. Like there ain't no way the Grizzlies should have won that game, in my opinion. Gobert went out with foul trouble. I think that hurt them because Valanciunas basically was doing whatever he wanted when he got there.
And then what's his name? What's the center name again?
The Grizzlies.
No, Utah.
Talking about Gobert?
Yeah, Gobert. He came up with a bad excuse in the news conference. I forgot his name. He talking about he didn't know how the officials was calling him because he picked up 2 quick fouls. And Charles Barkley made a good point last night. He was like, well, obviously whatever you was doing was how they was calling the game. Like you got 2 quick fouls. Like, and how many points he had? He had 11 points, 15 rebounds. He got to play better, man.
You an all-star. You a back-to-back all-star.
He an all-star. Ain't no excuses. The excuse should have been, I didn't play good enough for my team to win. Yeah, they didn't have Donovan Mitchell, but
Derek Favors played better than him, though. Derek Favors played better than Gobert.
We'll get to that, but they got a lot of scores on the team. They were up in the first half. I can't remember what the box score was, but there should be no reason why they lost to Memphis. Memphis, Brooks and Ja Morant came out and in the third and fourth quarter and just destroyed them.
Ja Morant showing that when he get into that lane, he got that little floater now. I think he putting teams on notice with that floater. And Dylan Brooks, I think, dude, people keeping his eyes on him now. I think he woke some people up now, like to who he is.
He got a lot of confidence. I like his game.
Yeah, he like the energy. Like, every team need that energy player help you play. Like, I think he that person.
He's like what Jaylen Brown is to the Celtics.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what he is.
Yeah.
And then, but another thing with the Grizzlies too, that's happened against Golden State. Jaren Jackson them getting in foul trouble. But the fact they still winning these games and winning them, that's what's surprising me. But I think that's something to watch for if they do somehow beat the Jazz, which I don't think is going to happen. But if him and Valanciunas keep getting in foul trouble, that could be a problem.
I did say Donovan Mitchell, like you said, if he was in the game, they would have won. They probably would have won, but like I said, Utah is good enough to beat them without Donovan Mitchell. They didn't show that last night. So now Donovan Mitchell is definitely playing game 2. He's going to come out and have a good game. and they're gonna tie the series up 1-1, and they're gonna have to
Yeah.
handle business in the next couple games because they can't have that same performance they did last night. That was unacceptable.
I think people forget Mitchell averaged 36 in the bubble last year. 36, 5, and 5. On
Yeah,
53% shooting from three. I just hope people
yeah,
just realize that.
yeah.
But
People know, but
I don't think
people
people know how
also
good Donovan
know.
Mitchell is, in my opinion.
People know how good he is, but they feel like Utah is that good where they didn't need him last night,
Right.
and the rest of his teammates didn't show up. That's what happened.
Bogdanovich turned it on. I mean, kind of late though. He played bad the first half, but he did turn it on late. I'm thinking they was going to take the lead, come back, but the Grizzlies just had an answer for everything they was doing. But hey,
Yeah.
that's but you know we definitely gonna talk about this Heat and Buzz game right now the next show because they,
Well, let's. You say the best for last. You know I've been waiting for it. It's Brooklyn and
you talking about
Baltimore.
the Brooklyn Nets and the
Hmm.
Celtics. That was an interesting game though. Because I know the Celtics had an early lead, but I think everybody knew what was going to happen after. We knew KD and Kyrie was going to light them up,
Hmm.
and Harden basically had a triple double. He had 21 points. And that wasn't. They didn't even play their best. That wasn't their best.
And that's the thing. They didn't play good at all. Like on both ends of the floor. Like they won that game off the strength of talent. That they better than everybody else. But they didn't play well. Like even though KD had 32, Kyrie had 29, Harden had 21, people were probably looking at me like, how did they not have a good game? Because the way the Celtics came out and punched them in the mouth, and they didn't respond right away. Like it took them a minute to kind of settle down and get into their game. Like I said, they all averaged good points that game, a lot of points, but the pace of the game wasn't good. The defense wasn't good. The ball movement where it should have been. Joe Harris missed a lot of shots. Blake Griffin impact on the game wasn't that big. So I mean,
Right.
they could have played a lot better. Like their expectations is higher than how they played the other game. And how many points did they score? They only scored
103.
they scored 103 points. That's nothing. Brooklyn can easily put up 130 and they sleep.
And
So
the thing I was talking about was Joe Harrison didn't even shoot that good. That's
yeah,
why I think they more deadlier than what people saw game one.
yeah.
Because that wasn't even their best. That wasn't even their best. Together. We know they can do way better than that.
But I think KD said it best after the game, that they were all they wanted to win so bad that they were all doing too much. And that first half, it took them to settle down. The second half, they kind of settled down and was like, okay, now because it's nervousness. We all human. It
Yeah.
happens. You want something so bad, you go out there, you do too much. We all been there before. So I expect them to come out with a better first half in game two. The Celtics, I mean, Tatum, he only scored like 22. He got to have a better game. Kemba got to have a better game.
And
Fournier,
Kemba,
he got to have a better game.
I told people if Kemba having bad games like he did pretty much that game one, they don't have no chance of winning.
I mean,
At
but
all.
if we're going based off the first half, they were feeling themselves a little bit. They were like we up, and we having a good game right now. Like we could win this game until the second half, and then it all fell apart. But if I'm the Celtics, I'll look at that first half to see what they did to take Brooklyn out of the game a little bit, and I'll try to do that for all four quarters.
Right.
So,
But yeah, I think a lot of people saying Brooklyn in 3 right now. Brooklyn in 3.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Celtics stand a chance, but we gonna end this episode, right here. Thanks for y'all for tuning in. We gonna keep dropping more episodes when these playoff games just keep coming. The Suns and Lakers tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff to say with these games coming on. Many more.
I don't know if I'm gonna continue to watch this game with Milwaukee.
Yeah,
It looked like Trevor Ariza just got a flagrant foul, so I want to see what happened with that. Shout out to
I don't blame him.
Shout out to Jordan Clarkson. He won 6 Man of the Year. So
Yeah,
we all knew he would. We all knew he would. So
and it was crazy how they did it too. Did you watch how they presented it to him? You saw how they did it?
I ain't get a chance to see it.
Oh, okay, well you gotta watch that for yourself, and then we gonna get your thoughts. Once these awards keep coming. But thank y'all for tuning in. We're gonna drop another episode once these playoff games come on. And anything last words you want to say? Last words you want to say?
Enjoy this massacre on what they
on TNT.
I mean, everybody pretty much just waiting for Kenny, Chuck, and Shaq to get back on the screen at this point.
To clown them.
This is embarrassing.
This
is embarrassing. But that's it.
Thank y'all for tuning in. This video will be up on YouTube, so like, comment, and subscribe, and then I'm gonna see y'all later.
All right.